See, like, if you're gonna do biting or any sort of marks, it gotta be on areas they can't see someone with a public persona. Think about it. It's a he said, she said moment. Just, if you actually double down like an American politician, even if it's technically wrong and they have all the evidence, you could lie your way out of it. Your fan base would defend you if you make it seem good enough. The strat by today's standards is to just ignore it, and if it really comes up, just lie. Like, it works. Like, no matter what, a section of the internet will hate you, good or bad. You can gaslight your fans into believing whatever you need them to. This is good. The girl lost a horny. Says the man who probably jerks off 3 times a day online. Ooh! Is he gonna overhear this and realize she needs to stand on her own? This can go 2 very different ways. Either it goes in her favor, that people respect the hell out if she just doesn't give a shit, I'm an adult, fuck off, you parasocial losers, or it will ruin her life. I mean, generally speaking, by Oshinoko standards, it means everyone's fucking Rip Bozo, so we'll see. This might be one of my most deviously clever clickbait titles, because it really does represent a feeling I had, but I already know about a third of the comments that I'll get based on it will be like, yeah, I know, Brandon. I hate where the manga went. And I truly believe what's actually tragic about Oshinoko's fate is that it probably was destined for failure regardless, because when you have as much of a fan base that seemingly just wants characters to have happy endings, they were probably always going to be disappointed. Now, I'm of the belief, probably base chapter ending of the manga, there was rushed elements that when we get it in anime form, it'll be a little more fleshed out. As someone who doesn't read the manga, and has been told for the past few weeks that this is around the point where fans started switching up on Oshinoko, and I think Kana's face here was probably their faces, to be honest. From pretty much the beginning, I've assumed this was going to have a negative ending. And honestly, with the way people were talking, I thought Aqua and Ruby started fucking each other and that was the ending. Like, I thought that's why everyone was going to hate it. And I was like, yeah, that sounds a little weird. We'll see what happens. From the beginning, or damn near close, I was like, if this man only chases after revenge, we are going to be in for a very rude awakening. And you know what? Revenge doesn't make you feel better. That's pretty much the 99% of the time people say it literally changed nothing about their life. So if the ending of this series is one or even all of the characters not really in that happy of a situation and we just watch the downward spiral of all their lives, that sounds like a perfect ending to me, I gotta be honest. Now, I understand a lot of people don't like depressing endings, but at this point, that's what I'm gonna assume happened. That people are upset that their best girl didn't win, or characters didn't end up as happy as they are. And I hope I don't get spoiled. I get to truly experience what people consider shit, because each week I'm waiting for the shoe to drop and the show is just getting better. I used to say that type of shit in season 2, and Oshinoko fans were borderline trying to give me death threats. So far, you guys have been pretty pleasant this season. I don't know what the fuck changed. Maybe you guys are just seeing the light. I don't know. But so far, the show's getting better. But unfortunately, I think the fan base doomed it from the start that unless everyone's best girl wins, it was always going to be considered shit. But I fucking love it. Now, you know what to do, though. You got this far in the video. Help share your support. Drop a like. Subscribe. Ring that bell if you haven't already. And my Patreon is where you can catch my full live reactions to all these and more, which does help fund the channel and videos just like these. So do consider supporting if you enjoy my content. Now, this was a great episode. It really was. And we knew shit was going to get spicy. But it's interesting because inside this business, most all know they have boyfriends and stuff. But it's kind of like be smart about it, right? But unfortunately, in the era of smartphones, it's a lot harder to keep stuff hush-hush. And we already know how toxic this culture is. I feel bad for her, though. And to be honest, her crash out at the end where she's like, fuck it, I don't care. I can respect it. Do I think it's going to work in her favor? Probably not. But could it? Yeah, there's arguments to be made, and I've seen enough real-world examples of people just being like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna live my life. I'm an adult. Stop being a piece of shit. Sometimes that can work. But if we're taking bets, what would you rather put money on? Kana ruining everything or Kana succeeding? Smart man would put money on her losing. If she succeeds and you bet on that, you're a fucking millionaire. Let's be 100% real. It's unfortunate because there's not a lot of options other than lie. I feel like that's the optimal strategy. If the past decade has proved us anything, being honest with people has no net benefit. I'm sorry to say, like, I'm gonna be fucking brutally honest. There's a lot of shitty stuff in the world where there's companies like replacing human touch completely with artificial intelligence. That's wrong. But artificial intelligence gets used in everything in small ways. And if you admit to using that small way, people will try to crucify you, even though it's like, we're not replacing our jobs. We're just optimizing certain smaller elements, and that will be up in arms. So it's like, really, the only option is to lie. It's AI. It's Photoshop. You got video that's perfect? No, it's bullshit. Just lie, Kana. Like, that is honestly the solution in my mind. But I do really like the scene with Aqua, because he realizes where she probably is, and he's like, this is a moment where I think he was truly going to start involving himself more in her life until he heard what she said about how she don't need no man. And honestly, I can fuck with that. I was like, you know what? I can respect that, rather than sitting there crying, hoping for Aqua to come, who's already proved that he doesn't have feelings and doesn't care about her feelings. I need to take actions in my own hands. And unfortunately, her actions will probably dig the hole deeper, but I can respect the scene a lot. And I mean, at this point, there's probably some characters who have a happy ending to degrees. Like, I'm not expecting this whole cast is going to die. You know, I don't think Kana is going to blow her brains out the same day Akane blows her brains out, the same day Mem blows her brains out. But, like, yeah, there's probably going to be some brain splatter by the end to some varying degrees. And it's probably going to be a very sad ending. I mean, unless there's one more moment similar to the start of the season where Aqua is peaceful again. Because we had a brief moment where it felt like he was pursuing his life and things were going to be better for him. But now that he's conflicted on what he should do, yes, sure, Akane is on currently the path of revenge for him. They're probably going to team up. But I mean, it's hard to imagine everyone getting their happily ever afters. And I'm going to laugh my ass off if that is why people didn't like it. Because, like, here's the thing. I like depressing endings more than most people. And I do think there's a larger amount of the internet who does like depression than they let on. But yes, the masses as a whole want happily ever afters. As much as the anime community likes to bitch, Disney happy endings, blah, blah, blah. Most of the people saying that also want their anime to be like that. They want to see the Chad MC, get the victory, get the woman, blah, blah, blah. But time and a place. Aqua has shown me nothing other than the intro this season. And he's on the verge. I'm not saying he's too far gone yet, but should he commit back to a path of revenge, he probably is too far gone. And whatever happens with him is going to happen. Whatever happens with Ruby is going to happen. If I could get Akane on the fucking private investigator, and maybe Kana just doesn't fucking end up homeless, I'll be a happy camper at this point. Everything else up in the air on what's going to happen. Therapy is still the optimal OTP. We're probably a little too far gone for therapy for some of them, I gotta be real. And like I said in many videos, if I don't like the ending, I won't like the ending. But the more I'm seeing, because I truly thought it was just like it randomly got bad, but people continuously tell me that no, we're in the point where like people started bitching more and more. And I'm like, why? Maybe it truly does go shit. But I mean, fuck it, man. I am the king of saying that endings that are apparently horrible are actually quite interesting, because not everything has to be a happy ending. And to be honest, the only way I see myself hating this, and I'm going to put a bold statement out there, is if everything just magically works out. If everyone gets a perfectly happy ending after everyone ruins their lives and just continues to fall and just magically everyone gets back up like plot armor, that I probably would have an issue with. But otherwise, I think I'm pretty good for anything they decide to throw at me. Unless the ending truly is just Ruby and Aqua banging each other in a pile of blood. I don't know, man. Let me know your thoughts down below, though. Drop a like, share, support, subscribe, ring that bell, and Patreon for live reactions and exclusives do live over there. And other ones like, hey, I love to give those video shoutouts because I love my patrons because they make it all possible over here. Alright, so today we got Corefish, Kalad Joko, Mike Joe, and we also have Crazy Cards. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. You all have a good one.